Kazo Central Zone 2 polling station located at the peripherals of Nansana town. And this town is one of the most populated, and we understand it's one of the most populated areas in Wakiso district. Today, the voting happened without any incident, especially in places we managed to visit. Like this very polling station, there were several people who turned up earlier, and then there was a group of the youths who wanted to destabilize the situation that was happening or taking on. But they were later advised by the leadership in the area to leave everybody to come and vote in peace. The people who are contesting in this area, the LC5, that is Cheyune Ian, there is Nakabale Patrick, Hussein Bujasi, Fred Chigongo, and then for directly elected councillors, we have Samuel Mwesigwa, Herbert Chimbugwe, Bekan Subuga, Samuel Kakunguru, and these are directly elected councillors in this place. But this very local council people are complaining of bad roads. They are complaining of several other issues that have been happening. And even some of those we spoke to earlier on said they were not interested in voting, because in this polling station, in one of the biggest polling stations within the area, about 30 people turned up for voting. We have one of the contenders of the directly elected councillors who is in the race, that is Bekan Subuga. We wanted to ask Bekan Subuga, how was the situation today in terms of the voter turnout?
Thank you so much. The voter turnout was very low. So people actually have no interest in voting. They say there is no service delivered at all. So they say they have no reason why they should turn up to vote. Yeah.
Why are people not interested in voting? Yet this is the biggest political party in Uganda.
Some people are saying that the party, there are some dynamics in the party which people actually are failing to understand. So, but this time around, since we have just passed through elections, the NRM elections, we have just had some new leaders coming in. So they are trying to revitalize the party. They're trying to bring back the party to the people. The party was taken away from the people, but these people who have just voted in, they're bringing the party back to the people.
How are you going to tussle it out with the new people who have a stronghold in this area?
So this area actually is not a new stronghold. Previously, before, it was an NRM stronghold, and we are trying to build that up. Yeah. Under the new leadership of Mr. Faizo Kasana Fugaliwango.
What do you bring on the table this time round as a leader? What do you think needs to be sorted out, and why has it taken so long?
These last 5 years, we haven't been in power. The NRM has not been in power. These new people are the ones who have been in power. So that's why you see all the roads you've been passing through, they are bad. So what I'm promising the people that if at all we go into the general elections and they give us the chance, we promise them to bring service delivery. We promise to actually work on all the roads.
Do you believe in a narrative that services should only go to people who vote or support the regime in power, or everybody is entitled to such a service? It's a right.
Yeah, it's a right. I believe in that. I say no, all the people, services should come to all the people, not only those people who actually vote. Yeah.
Thank you so much. You have heard from Bekan Subuga. That is one of the contenders in the directly elected councillors' race here in Nansana. We have also the gentleman here. What's your name, sir?
My name is Bunjo Ali.
You're here as an agent?
Yes, I'm an agent of Mr. Patrick in Nakabali.
How was the situation in terms of voter turnout and in general, security and the ambience?
Actually, more than 1,000 voters, at least 45 turned up. So that is meaning that it is a low turn up because of the problems between the two leaders. Our chairperson LC1 plus the NRM chairperson elect, those two people did not work together because of the different candidates. Each and everybody has his or her own candidate.
We didn't see agents at the polling stations. How do you believe in the results that have come up?
Actually, after voting, our registrar tried to jot down all the results comes out.
Thank you so much. You've just heard it from him. Right now, we are going to be handing over to Julius Ocheng, who is in Lira, to give us what has transpired in that part of the region.
A very, very good afternoon, viewers. I'm coming live from Entebbe, Barapuo in Lira City West. According to the movement I've conducted this morning, the voter turnout for this particular election is very, very low. A typical example is this very one where I'm standing at Entebbe, Barapuo, Lira City West, where out of 97 registered voters, about only 17 voters have casted their vote. That shows that the turnout has been very, very low. Some people we've talked to, including the registrars, they were telling us that some people were in the gardens and busy. If you compare this one to the previous election of members of parliament, which happened last week, people were very ambitious, people were excited, people were happy. There were even ululations being made at the election. Even shortly before the election, the city mayor, who is seeking for the second seat, Honorable Sam Atul, was also here. He also casted his vote from here. Therefore, this voting today has been so low. We shall keep on updating you in the subsequent bulletin. Back to you in Kampala. The mayor voted and is come and talk. So coming is the mayor of Lira City, who is aspiring to become the mayor again for this second term. Mayor, could you please tell me why you want to retain your seat?
We have been working in this city for the last 4 years. Maybe to give all of us a good background, these cities are newly created entities in Uganda. We are the first directly elected local government leaders in these places. So this has been our first term, setting the city that we want to see. So you can't do that in only 5 years. So you know many cities. I don't know Kampala is how old. Nairobi, Lagos, Durban, Arusha. We are just, this is like our first step. So the people believe that for the work that we've done, maybe we could come back and continue building on this so that we also make the city deserving of the people of this region.
What is it that you're going to bring that will improve the livelihood of the old person there in the village?
Unfortunately, in the city, we don't refer to you as a village. Yes. So we are happy to say that we are leading the way in trying to improve household income in our communities. We have a progressive society, people who work really hard. Lira City is known as a commercial and industrial city. We process
Thank you so much, Mayor.
Yeah.
I now hand you back to Kampala. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do you know what
A beehive of activities it is in as far as the polling day of LC5 and mayors is concerned. Now, I've been camped here at Lubaga and Entebbe since morning, and where I am right now is one of the polling stations, Kasubi Family Primary School, where voting has been taking place. And so far, voting of 2 positions got done. That is voting of LC5 female councillors and voting of LC5 male councillors. Now, for the female councillors, it was there were rather 3 contenders. That there was Nabukalo Sise, Najita Prosi, and Nakato Gladys. From what I was able to witness here, Nakato Gladys polled more votes here in as far as lining up is concerned. And then for the male councillors, there was Chintu William and Mbazira Ronald. And of course, from what I witnessed with my 2 eyes, Mbazira Ronald also polled a huge population of voters. Now, Yeah, now, of course, what is happening here is they are waiting for the polling of, Lord Mayors, that is Thaddeus Musoke and one other contender, whom we are made to understand that their polling agents haven't yet made their way here, and that is why you see in my background voters are yet standing and waiting for these polling agents to come. Of course, I did witness a spree of violence. The voting started on very well, but somewhere there, exchange of blows surfaced between supporters of the two female candidates, and of course these were immediately intercepted by police. But that is the situation I can give you from this particular polling station. Earlier on, I also moved to other polling stations around Namongona where things noted clear. There was contestation among voters in terms of verification of their registrars. Some voters had not yet been verified, while some voters also were not on the NRM voter registrar, and that is the situation that has been in this area of Entebbe. Of course, let me have in some officials to speak to us on how this polling has done. This gentleman here, Sebo, amanya gwani era nsaba ng'otubulire ng'okulonda kuneno kutambudde kutya kweno polling station.
Erinnya nze mutabani wa President Museveni bwe yazaalira mu lutalo. Omwana anoonya taata ne taata anoonya omwana. Nze Brown defense w'ekyalo kino ate nga nze chairman w'NRM ow'ekyalo kino.
Brown okulonda kutambudde kutya waneno? Kulonda
kubadde kulungi, tekubaddeemu kavuyo.
Nga nalabyemu akavuyo nze nga
ebyo mu byokulonda bibaamu naye si ke katiisa nti nga bumanyi abavubuka balwanalwanamu olw'ensonga nti buli muntu abaako ne gwakola ki ne gwawagira. Naye nga wano abantu baffe ab'NRM bajjumbidde abali mu yellow book ne bajja ku polling station yaffe ne tulonda abantu baffe abeesimbyewo mu myufu. Ffe mu NRM bwe weesimbawo olina kuyita mu kitabo. Ne tumanya nti muzza abantu bana ne mujja abamemba b'NRM abali mu kitabo ne tulondako omuntu atya omu.
Brown, essaawa zinene abantu balinza okulonda okwa Lord Mayor. Ki ekituuseewo? Lwaki kuluddewo?
Okulonda kwa Lord Mayor abalondesa engeri tale center gye bagitadde wano. Kati buli amala okulonda ajja wano kati bonna ne bibatabukako. Era naffe kwe tulindiridde tulabe nga tumaliriza okulonda okwo kwa Lord Mayor tugende ku mirimu. Ate ekirala nti obudde bwe baweerezaamu ebikolwa birwawo. Abantu bano bakeera nga twagala tuyite mu bwangu badde bagende bakola emirimu gyabwe. Ne kitasoboka kyobola nga akalube kaggwa akasinga obungi. Ate ekirala nti ba Lord Mayor be boogerako abantu tebabamanyi.
Kale twanziza nnyo Brown. Mama mu butikiti
Erinnya Nabbanja Rufi chairperson wa Kasubi zone ey'okuna. Okulonda mu buntu ng'ebyokulonda bibeera ffe tetulabye kavuyo nga ketulaba awalala gye beekubira ebikonde masasi bikoze bitya ffe waffe kubadde kwa mirembe wadde mubeeramu obumulumulu kwagoba wangu tutasobola butakola ki butanyiga naye kubadde kwa mirembe naye bameeya tebakoze eki balodi meeya tebalondebwa ewange mu zone Kasubi zone ey'okuna.
Twanziza nnyo Mama Nabbanja. So that is the brief situation I can bring to you here in Kasubi where I am. More of these details, be sure to catch them on our subsequent bulletins. But for now, let me hand you over to my colleague Ivan Walunyolo in Entebbe to bring us up to speed on how polling is going on that side. Ivan, do you hear me? Please.
Well, indeed, David Ijo, I can get your voice, but thank you so much for what you've been doing. But of course, where I'm standing here is Bugonga, one of the contested places. Of course, I can tell you that the mayor election in Entebbe, which is for NRM primaries, is between three people. First of all, Fabrice Rolinda. There is also Mike Mutebi and also Kasilinj Habib, who is also contesting for this position. But where I am standing is one of the contested places, and I can tell you that the difference for a margin between the three people, actually the two, that is Mike Mutebi and then Fabrice Rolinda, is a margin of about 25 or 26 votes that have just been conducted behind me. A lot of contentious activities that have been hiding there. But I just want to speak to some of the people that have been here. I know a lot of other places. The information I have is that Fabrice Rolinda, of course, has taken lead. But I just want to speak to a few people that have been taking part of this election to just give us a perspective of what really has been happening in this place and what exactly has been happening in this place. You start with them and tell me what has been happening.
What has been happening here is really to show muscles, political muscles, to those who are capable. And Luhinde has proved that he's the man Entebbe wants at the moment. It was not a surprise that at this particular polling station he won because he has done a lot in this place. All the roads have been, cleaned, schools and everything. Therefore, it is no wonder that he has won this election today.
Yes, and of course, I know the other party is also complaining that, of course, there were a lot of things that they were done not in their interest, and they are saying that there were irregularities in the matter and conducting the vote. What is your take on this?
No, you see, all the time when people fail, they have reasons. Yes. Which may not be really holding water. Yeah. I think it has been, this election has been carried out very fairly. In the most proper way.
Okay. What do you think? You're not contented with what has come out of
English, but I'm going to speak Uganda. Nenze ndiwa nebugonga boys nga nzija okulonda akalulu naye mu kujja okulonda akalulu kabadde kalungi naye ndabye sente nga zitambula nga tuyingidde munda nga esente ziyingira zibadde za public nga ali kugaba sente naye nga Mutebi tali kugaba sente ne tubeera ku line ne batusingayo obululu 22 ekiri nti nguli zibadde zi sente tubadde jamusingira waggulu nnyo nga mu 10 naye ne tugamba katusirike kuba twagala eddembe mu nsi yaffe Uganda.
Okay. Kiki olowooza kitagenze bulungi just in a few seconds?
Tewali kitagenze bulungi kuba Meya Fabrice ye musajja mukozi ate agabadde ayagala nnyo enkulaakulana ey'ekibuga kye Entebbe municipality byakoze bingi ebirabwako n'omwana omuto amatala ku kkubo wonna etuyita ku nguudo enguudo zaakayaka n'amatala gaaka ate ng'akyali kaweefube w'okulaba ng'enguudo zonna eziri eno yonna munda ndowooza nawe olaba zino zonna kalavaati ebigoma Meya Fabrice okuddaabiriza amasomero awo waggulu ku ssomero awe tulondedde nawo wotuukayo mu kabuyonjo Meya Fabrice yazimba kabuyonjo ey'omulembe Omutebi abaana balina obukyamirwamu obulungi. Meya Fabrice nyongera okutegeeza afobye nnyo okulaba nti atumbula ebitone mu bavubuka.
Okay, ku lwakadde bangambe katukomeawo naye what I can tell is that of course the elections have been conducted in many different places across Entebbe. The tentative information I have had is that Fabrice Rulinda still takes the lead. I cannot confirm this, not until the Electoral Commission for the NRM will confirm this. But the information I have is that he's taken the lead in the most of the places. What I want to tell is that Entebbe, which is the first administrative seat of the country, deserves better, especially from the local council representative until the high end. So I cannot confirm.
Thank you so much, Ivan Walunyolo, for bringing us to speed what is happening in Entebbe. Now I am in Luweero district and I'm currently standing at Bright Future Primary School here in Luweero Town Council, where voting is currently on hold because there was a contestation between the voters and the students. There were students who are being brought here and they wanted to cast their votes, but the residents here had to object them, saying they were not in the register. So currently voting is on hold, and as you can see, people are being blocked from outside the gate. This is the polling area and they are being blocked from outside the gate because of the contestation. And because of this, the presiding officer and all electoral officials have been have vacated the area, and I've just spoke to the district registrar who has told me that he has called them back to the office because he got information that there would be violence at this particular spot. So I want to speak to one of the officials here who has been sent to tell us what is really happening. Sebo ntegedde nti okulonda kuyimiriziddwamu waneno era gwosindikiddwa okulaba ng'embeera edda mu nteeko. Ki ekigenda mu maaso era kiki ky'oyinza tugamba ku mbeera eri wano?
Embeera eri wano mu Kavule tetugenda okukola buli omu ali mu register agenda okulonda. Ensolo ebaddewo abantu abamu balowooza nti balesa abaana batali mu register. So kati ffe ekituleese kukakasa ddala abaana be bagobye tebali mu register oba nedda. kyekyo sebo so katulinze abalina register bajje tulondese embere eveewo
ng'ogyeko wano eno tutegedde nti mu bifo ebisinga obungi okulonda abantu tebakujjumbidde nnyo batono nnyo kiki ekitambula kiki gy'otambudde biri bitya
okusinziira nga bwenda bano abantu abajumbirirwa kuba ndowooza basoose kubaawo ensobi eyo abamu ne bagaya naye kati abamu batandise baga bakomewo
wow. So maybe tubulire ku linnya tumanye ani gwe twogera naye. Okay. Wow. Thank you so much. He's Mutabazi James, one of the electoral officials for the NRM party here in Luweero district. And I want to tell you that people who are vying for the NRM ticket for the Luweero district Luweero district chairperson seat, four, and these include 2 gentlemen and 2 ladies. They are contesting for the ticket, and these include Rashida Birungi, and then we have Rashida Birungi, we have Katitira Ramadan, we have Amina Nalubega, and Dithan Chikabi. These are the people who are vying for the NRM ticket to see that they will be contesting for the party in the general elections. But where I have been able to move in the different polling stations, low voter turn-up has been registered. Many people have not turned up to cast their votes. We do not understand the reasons behind this low turn-up, but comparing to the recent elections, this has registered a very low turn-up. I'll be moving to the different areas to bring up to speed for whatever will be happening. But for now, this is the update I can give you from Luweero district. But like I earlier told you, we have 624 villages where voting is currently taking place, and there have been cases of delay in the dispatchment of voting electoral materials, and I believe maybe later we shall be seeing what is the update coming there. So I want now to end here. I want to link you to now my colleague Daniel Kibeti to bring you up to speed what is happening in this area. My name is...
Thank you so much, Herbert Kaboka, for that insightful analysis. We're coming to you live from Kampala Central Division, and to be specific, this is Luweero Street. Dear viewers, in about 30 or so minutes, the NRM primaries for the local government council will be coming to an end. But here in Kampala Central Division, I can confirm to you that polling has ended in most polling stations. At least we've been to close to 10 of them. But the turn-up was really, really low. Some polling stations actually never had anyone at all. And so that speaks a lot to the kind of election that the ruling National Resistance Movement is pushing a lot. Remember, according to the NRM election guideline, people were supposed to show up at polling stations by 10 a.m. And then the reading of the names in the voters register was supposed to go on up to about 11:45. But trust me, by 10 a.m. in most polling stations, there were no voters. Polling officials were there, but voters were not there. The spaces were empty. So voting was supposed to start from midday up to 2 p.m. But again, that delayed. And in some places, voters were there, a few of them, yes, but their names were not being read out. I mean, you just show up and then you line behind your candidate, and then you are counted, and then somehow results are entered. So it was sort of a confusing process. But of course, this speaks to the numbers, because the President 72 days ago said that he was a little bit impressed with the turn-up in the Thursday's elections, primaries, NRM primaries for the constituency, for the members of parliament. But the turn-up was a little bit halfway, 50%. About 9.2 million of NRM supporters turned up to vote. Out of the total number of voters, of course, they are about 18.5 million. But now we are waiting for the number that will be given this time round, because last time on Thursday, we covered this same division, Kampala Central Division, and numbers were a little bit higher. But today, they are a little bit low. They are very, very low. But obviously, we are trying to gather as much information as we can, so that we can break down and give you more information in our subsequent bulletins.
over there, a low turnout of the NRM voters clamoring for the polling areas. But then he says in last Thursday's NRM primaries, the numbers were a little bit high up.